and gentlemen, welcome back to the fourth Heroes Peak NBA podcast, part 4, as we say in French. That was not planned. That's actually how I had it titled. It is I, yours truly, James here, with a larger team this time, including a Heroes Peak owned. Let's start with her introduction. Queen of the Pod has returned, finally, not on the flagship pod, but on this pod. Brooks, what's going on, Brooks?
Not much. Thank you for having me. Just a lovely sunny day in LA over here.
We can see that. We can see that very much, very much, very well. And then of course we have our other Heroes Peak founder, owner, partner, Free Keith. What's going on, Keith?
What up? What's going down? What's going down? Just
All
enjoying
right.
enjoying the free air out here in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, you over there raw dogging air in Newark, New Jersey. That's something to say. And then we have our part-time consultant on Heroes Peak. You know, he's on a 10-day contract. Now looking like it's 30-day contract. Mike, what's going on, Mike?
My name's Mike. I'm back, and the Red Sox suck. That's my
Oh, you're
intro.
watching those games
Thank
too?
you.
Oh, that sucks. Well, the American League right now is a bit of an issue, but yeah, Red Sox are.
It's
But
early.
we're not talking about baseball today. We're talking about the National Basketball Association, America's #1 sport until the World Cup commences in a couple of weeks. So we got a lot to discuss. It's supposed to be a quick podcast. It may not be a quick podcast, but we're gonna go through it. Please bear with us, our fellow peakers. But let's start with the very first topic, as one of our own is wearing his Knicks hat here. Let's start with the New York Knicks and the Eastern Conference Finals. Actually, the entire Eastern Conference playoffs. But yes, the Knicks are real. They're not a hoax like climate change. They are real. And let's discuss how they dismantled the Eastern Conference and left nothing but bodies and fired coaches and fired GMs in the wake. I like to let Keith cook. Keith, can you walk us through the Knicks and their detonation of the Eastern Conference?
I
And
mean,
were
it's
you
hard.
actually? I know you're a Knicks fan, but do you really expect the way things went down?
Yo, I'm gonna say even right now, yes, I'm happy. Like, oh snap, wow. But it's a weird kind of chill right now because it's last time we were in the finals. Like you knew we wasn't going to beat the Spurs. Like we knew we weren't going to beat the Spurs. Like it wasn't. It, we were down. We were down a couple guys. Plus, you know what I'm saying? Like the Spurs was on. Like that was just their season. Um, but yeah, you had a feeling like you rooting for him. Like yeah, we're gonna pull up. But like now you knew we wasn't gonna beat the Spurs. Like coming into this, now you're realizing we up in the finals, and it's like wow, we might be the team to beat. And that's a weird feeling. Like so, it feel kind of surreal. It's a little surreal, and the excitement of it all really hasn't hit me like that yet. Like I'm just like kind of still stuck. Like it's not just hope. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, at this stage in the game, it's like yeah, you riding off hope. Like man, yeah, my guy's gonna pull it off. I hope. Yeah, Nick's gonna take it. But like I really feel like no, Nick's gonna take it. And there's not like a logical argument to say that I'm crazy about that. And that makes
Hope
me
it.
Which
feel
is the
crazy,
first time,
Go ahead, Brooks.
which is the
like,
first time
normally
in my lifetime.
when Knicks fans say, right, yes, we're gonna win it
Your
all,
life.
because I feel like Knicks fans say that every single year. I'm
Yes,
like, do you actually believe that? But
yes,
this time, for the first time, to your point, it actually is the truth. Like, there is a potential. But it's just like, I love Knicks fans and I hate Knicks fans because y'all are the craziest fans, for sure,
Agreed.
in all of sports, aside from like soccer or whatever. But like in American sports, Knicks fans hands down craziest.
we
Agreed.
are
Agreed.
America's soccer hooligans. That's what Knicks fans
Interesting.
are.
Interesting.
That
I want
team
to
is
segue to
talented.
Mike, who's our resident soccer hooligan and Eastern
We will
Conference.
travel.
Eastern Conference Boston
Sixers
Celtics
fans are the
fan.
resident soccer hooligans, just to be clear. Those
What?
NBA soccer hooligans. Sixers fans, you guys are much more mature and well behaved than Sixers fans. Like, don't drag yourself
Where
down to that level.
where
You're not
where,
hooligans the way
where were they?
I'm about
we
to
came up
say,
there.
nah, I
We came up
disagree.
there looking for them. Where were they?
I know
Where were
personally
they
people that went into Philly for the
at?
Knicks game four. So yeah, but Mike, I know what happens to your Celtics. We talked about the last podcast. Were you as hopeful? Actually, I know the answer. You're not as hopeful, but just so practicality here. Did you really expect, after seeing your Celtics go down, that the Knicks would be the lone survivor of the Eastern Conference in the devastating fashion?
Yeah, I'm not entirely surprised that the Knicks are where they
Historic.
are. Okay, given the way everything played out. I said that the Celtics would be there, barring injury. Injury happened. We didn't have Tatum for Game 7, and we lost by what 6 points. Came down to the final possession. You can't tell me that the top five, three-time All NBA first team player is not the difference in a game like that. But and we're going to get to this later in the podcast. Health is a part of the game, and you got to respect that. And this Celtics team was not a championship team, so that is what it is. What I am impressed about when it comes to the Knicks is one, they didn't play with their food after the Hawks series. They took care of business. They kind of learned their lesson. The win streak, and not just the win streak, but the manner of the win streak, like the point differential, it's impressive. It's not what you see of elite teams. And I don't think you can really underestimate, from what I've seen, the impact that Jalen Brunson has had on this team, not only as a player, but as a leader. And when I say as a leader, I'm going to speak about one player specifically, Karl Anthony Towns. This is a guy that I'm on record as saying was soft, and now suddenly he's willing to rip 12 rebounds out of people's throats, whether he gets 6 shots or 15 shots. And I don't know. I could be wrong. I've just been watching the league a long time. I'm hard pressed to think that was Mike Brown, especially since Tibbs was there last year. And I know the kind of coach Tibbs is, given he was like a big part of my '08 championship that my C's took down. And just seeing the way these guys play, like Brunson's got him locked in as a leader. And we're going to get to this later, but I've said this many times before, and I've always done it the Knicks because there's only two teams that have had their best player be a small guard and win the chip: the Isaiah Thomas Pistons and the Steph Curry Warriors. So if he can pull this off, like there's not many fingers left, kids. If you can see my video, you know what I mean. So he is an opportunity that he has put himself in a position to take advantage of. And we're going to get to this later in the podcast, but I think they're in a good position to take advantage of the opportunity, given the way the West Series played out, the health that they have, and the momentum that they have behind them.
Let's
And
switch
how
gears here, but stay on this topic. Sorry, Keith, you about to say something?
I'll say, and how they match up, how the two teams match up.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I think the Spurs and the Knicks make a good matchup. But yeah, sorry.
Please do. Save that thought. No, that's a good thought. Um, but enough about the past. Let's look at the Knicks moving, just in general, moving forward. It seems like for the last two Eastern Conference series, after they've annihilated their previous opponent, they've got quite a bit of rest and come out the gate very slow, very lackluster. However, it didn't bother them against Cleveland. It didn't bother them against Philadelphia. However, they have a juggernaut of a team coming up. Where do we, as a group here, think? Because I hear Barkley and Shaq and the Inside NBA crew, shout out to them. This is not me coming up with this idea. Is the rest versus rust? And the Knicks team has basically haven't played in since the fall of last year. So quite a bit of rest right now. Do we think, as great of a leader as Jalen Brown is, and Mike Brown, by the way, man, I used to talk shit. Keith knows I talked shit about his coaching all year, and I was impressed
Me
with what he
too.
did with Carl. I mean, you're gonna say Jalen Brown gets certain credit. I think Mike Brown, from what I'm hearing, sources say Stephen A. Smith, hate to say it, that Carl Anthony Towns went to Mike Brown and requested some of those adjustments be made. And obviously, Jalen Brown co signed it as a team leader. All that being said, Mike, I want to start with you, Mike. What's your theory here on the long layoff that the Knicks have had between April and now coming up Wednesday for game one on the road in San Antonio? What are your quick thoughts?
I would, I mean, I played athletics at a very low level, but given my personal experience, I still play a little bit of soccer. I'll always take rest. You'll always take rest over rest. Um, when you're tired, you're rusty. It's a different kind of rust. It's wear and tear. You haven't had the oil change that you need recently, right? Not to bring it back to your mechanical engineering days, James, but
Electric.
I'd much rather have the rest than the rust. I'd much rather be healthy. It's easier to get back into the swing of things if you're rusty than it is to get healthy if you're tired and hurt over the course of a 7-game series. Just my general philosophy, nothing specific about these two teams.
I see Brooks is kind of nodding, but then at times shaking her head. Brooks, what are your thoughts on this?
I would say normally I agree for the rest part because especially at this level, like you do need there, you have so many different like minor injuries that you're playing through that it's super helpful to just rest those and like let those heal a little bit. However, when I saw the Spurs last night, when I saw Wemby's emotions, like he he is so ready to win the championship. Like he is ready to carry his team. He has so much momentum and emotion going into this. Like I don't normally I would agree, but on this one, I think the Spurs have the momentum and I think they're like the ones to beat for sure.
Bingo. Mike, insert the bingo gif right here.
I don't think anybody is more emotional in this series about bringing a championship to their team than Jalen Brunson playing for the New York Knicks. The Spurs have
I mean,
enjoyed success. Wemby is young. Brunson
he is
brings a
young.
chip to the city, and he is immortal to the day he dies at 79, 89, 99 years old, however he is. He never pays for a dinner or a drink ever again. He is the man for a long, long time. I don't disagree with anything you just said. I would also add the Spurs are younger. Like when I was 21, I didn't need rest. You
True.
saw it, James. I guess I was 24. But, these guys are a little bit older 27, 28. Cat's not a young cat anymore. Like, the rest, I think, is more beneficial to the Knicks than Russ would be.
Before I allow Keith to cook, because he's got the most invested in this topic, I kind of lean more towards Brooks because you're right, 100% right as far as rest. I mean, they're a young group. They've OG now is cleared accordingly. He had his surgery in Germany and whatever, cleared to play. But the momentum, that is such a for a team that's been battle tested. I mean, I have to admit the Knicks haven't been as battle tested as the Spurs in the playoffs. Doesn't mean one team's better than the other, but just seeing how that team and game, I wrote them off. People think I was joking. I really wrote them off yesterday. I put $20 on OKC, just to see what would happen,
Which
and
explains it all.
which
Which
that's why
explains it
Eric
all.
texted me. Eric texted me
Oh.
immediately after that they were gonna lose. Um,
Now I
I
realize
mean,
what it was.
I
Okay,
think
yep.
I think
now
the
it all makes
hunger
sense.
and
OKC's
the
not in the finals
team.
because James bet a pack of Polaroid lights on the freaking Thunder. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, James.
Hey, please, please don't bet any money on the Knicks, yo. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not.
Please.
I'm
I
double betting for
appreciate
the
it.
rest of the basketball. You got me.
Thank
You
you.
got me.
And
But I think the Spurs, because they've got the momentum and they've got like the hunger, and I disagree with Jalen Brunson having more hunger. I think New York City has the hunger, and particularly Knicks fans in New York City. But I don't think anybody has more hunger to winning than Wemby right now. Like it wasn't just the emotion. I watched all of his post game conferences. I've watched him talk about Greg Popovich, about and they didn't talk about Chet too much, but that was in his head. Chet Holmgren, the Junior Olympics, all that stuff. Apologies to Brunson, phenomenal player, but I don't think you're gonna tell me that he wants to win more than Wemby right now. I think Knicks fans want to win more than any fans in the world, not named Brazil or Manchester United or whatever. But Keith, we said enough. The floor is yours. ISO, go ahead.
No, yeah, I think that there's a huge amount of want to uh, from Wemby. It's a huge amount of want to. That it's palpable. You could feel it. But it's like a kid who wants something so bad on Christmas, and it's like I'm gonna just say this. You could like they have just spent a an adrenaline shot. They just spent an adrenaline shot. That shot is not going to ride them so long.
The crash.
It's the reason why. Is it going to be a crash? And not like an intentional. The want to is going to be there. But understand, it's like why do teams dip off? Why do teams tend to dip off after they win the cup? Every
Yeah, I
one,
feel exactly what you said.
literally every. We are the team who's won the cup and got the furthest. Everyone, why they dip off? It's an emotional high. Like they got an emotional. They just shot their emotional low. I love the
Interesting.
approach, and everybody talks about it. The approach that the guys had after their Eastern Conference win. It was straight face. Job isn't done. You could
Job
be
isn't done
excited
yet.
and want to all you want. And I'm coming to work, and I'm glad that it's a away game because they got to come in focus now.
That is true.
They got to come in focus.
Yeah. If it was a game one at MSG, then after like 3 weeks of rest, I
I'd
think
expect not to see them show up until the third quarter.
interesting. Speaking of showing up, OG had surgery, cleared to play. Rest
You
versus
mean
rust.
Mitch? Mitch?
Sorry, Mitch, not OG. I meant Mitch. Thank you for
Mitch?
correcting me. Fact check
Mitch?
that. Thank you. Mitch
Mitch?
Robinson had surgery, cleared to play, not OG. OG had a hamstring thing. That was like last series, previous
OG
series.
good. OG's great.
Injury. So walk us through, Keith. The lineup right now, everyone seems to be 100% healthy. No
It's the
reported
healthiest
injuries.
we've been in the
One
playoffs.
to 12, which has been a stigma in the Knicks franchise since Latrell Sprewell played on that squad.
I mean, it's the
What do you?
playoffs. Stuff happens.
Yeah. Now the Spurs, I'm expecting. We're going to talk about them a little later. Nice. Somebody agrees. We have yet to hear reports of anybody getting hurt from the game 7. Usually you'll hear about it like tomorrow, Monday. But do you have any issues right now with the team's health status? It could be a quick yes, no, or whatever.
No,
Just a quick.
no. Outside of Mitch, but even it's funny with Mitch. Even when I heard, oh, he Mitch broke his pinky. Mitch broke his pinky, and like blah, blah. I was like, there's no way he's not playing. There's no. He broke his pinky. There's no way he's not. Yeah, I don't care what has to happen, what surgery, what. They've got 7 days off. He's got. There's no way he's not playing. At no point did I think that he wasn't playing, and I still don't think that he's not playing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
not he ain't
hmm.
no shooter. He ain't a shooter. Yeah, and
He's
it can't
not.
make his free throws any
He made
worse,
his free throws worse. That's for
and it
sure. For
can't make
sure.
him. It might actually improve him. Might actually improve him. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's I knew that that wasn't going to sit him, and he's going to be playing. And that being the case, like, dog, our lineup is going to be our lineup. I'd like to see the double big lineup,
Kitchen cat.
get some more burn. But like in this one, yeah, I think this the healthiest. This is actually relatively the healthiest that we've been throughout a playoff run in the last since we've been back in the playoffs.
Gotcha.
I will agree with Keith that a rusty Mitch Robinson free throw is better than a fresh one. That's where the rust might help, for real.
Brooks, any last comments on the Knicks right now? Injuries, rust versus rest. Before we switch to your favorite conference, the Western Conference.
No, I mean, good luck to the Knicks. Good luck to New York
You
City
don't mean
in
that. You don't
general.
mean that. You don't mean that.
No, I think she does. Good luck to New York City.
I
Yeah.
do. Good luck to the Knicks. Here's the thing, Keith. Here's the thing. I hate the Spurs. Like, as a Lakers fan,
That is
I
true.
hate the
As long as I've
Spurs.
known her, she
Like,
hated the Spurs.
I hate the Spurs. Like, I mean, I think Pop is one of the best coaches ever, but fuck the Spurs. Like, I absolutely hate them, right? But sorry, Wemby is very exciting to watch. You know, I mean, he's like as they say, the alien. He is exciting to watch. So, but truly, good luck to the Knicks. And if the Knicks win or lose, good luck to New York City because y'all are gonna need it out there.
Oh
Well
yeah,
said. Well said.
yeah, yeah. We get emotional. We care.
Speaking of caring, the Western Conference and Brooks, your conference, the Lakers.
Yes,
Uh, OKC versus San Antonio, which was a phenomenal series, probably the best series so far in the playoffs, I have to say.
absolutely,
What
hands down.
what were your thoughts from game one to game seven, high level, or you can get into detail if you want about this series, and how do you felt like the series mapped out the Western Conference moving forward, or just in general, your thoughts?
I mean, I agree with you. I think this was definitely the best series so far of the playoffs. Like, you know, it I don't want to say it felt like the championship, but the way the teams played back and forth, felt like the energy and the urgency of the championship round, right? To me. Um, I mean, I think it just came down to the team that wanted it the most at the end. Like, I think SGA did everything he possibly could to win this series. And I think Chet is the reason they lost. Like, straight up. Like, he did not show up in that game at all. And I think Wemby shut him down. And, like, I think if he would have showed up, like, if he would have played better, the OKC would have won for sure.
I
But it just
agree.
came down to that final game, and like they just didn't gel as a team in the way I saw them do last year, and the way they did the whole year this year. You know what I mean? Whatever it was at Game 7, they just like lost it for some reason, and it was a home game. I'm like, what is happening here? So
The
I don't
second
know. I
best
mean, I
player
really
was out.
expected.
Their second best
Right.
player was them.
True.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
that is a fact. And
you're
he
going
was,
to get.
but here's the thing. He was sitting on the bench from the first minute looking depressed and sad. Like, I get you're depressed that you're not playing, but like cheer your team on, like be a leader. Like, he just
Wait,
sat
hold
there
on.
stone
Was
faced
was was,
like
was De'Aaron Fox available for game one that they won? I can't recall. Was he?
I don't think he was.
Okay,
I can't remember. He
that's the
was out at
Spurs.
some point this
Correct,
season.
which was the Spurs' second best
I
player
mean, this,
until
yeah.
Stephen Castle became the second best player de facto.
And that's true.
Caruso,
That's another
by the
thing.
way, is the second best player
Right.
of OKC. No, no
Every
problem.
time I watch
Uh,
Caruso play, it makes me so
AJ
angry.
Mitchell is the second best player on OKC right now. AJ Mitchell is the second best player.
Yeah,
If
he was
OKC is
totally
going to
out.
move anybody, it's going to be Jay Well, not AJ Mitchell.
Yeah, AJ Mitchell was totally out. That's a good point.
and he
That
was
injury
out.
hurt more than.
That's like saying like
Sorry,
the
bro.
if the if the if Cat was out of the game going into the Spurs game, I'd be very nervous as the second best player on the team.
Right.
That's not
Right.
like that's
Absolutely. But they still like the OKC still almost had him at the end, right? Like they
yeah.
trailed the whole game, but not by that much. Like it's truly the fact that Chet just did not show up in that game. I mean, Caruso, he also like did everything he possibly could. And every time I watch Caruso play for a team that's not the Lakers, I get pissed off that the Lakers traded him because they should have kept him. It makes me so angry. Like this is what he is
GM
capable of
LeBron,
doing.
General
Well,
Manager
And,
that's,
LeBron.
and y'all could
that's
have
what
used
happens when your
every
organization
bit of
is
that.
Lakers fan. That's it. That's on you.
What was that, Mike?
What'd you say,
That's
Mike?
what happens when your organization has shitty ownership. That's a Lakers. You're a Lakers
Wait,
fan.
what?
That's on you. Bucks fan with you.
Oh,
You know what though? I would have disagreed with you, except the fact that I don't know what the fuck is happening with Jeannie Buss right now. First of all, I don't even want
layoffs.
to get into the fact that she's supporting Spencer Pratt for mayor. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, after that, I'm like, no, stop. Although I will say, I met Jeannie Buss last year, and she was very nice and very warm and very welcoming. So as a person, like, from the 1 minute interaction I had with her, great person. But as an owner, I don't know what's going on. She's like lost it or something. I don't understand it.
Brooks, I will just quote my children and say, I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. Like,
That's
I
funny.
don't hate it. You know what? That's interesting because Caruso and all these other players were in and out of the lineup, and I watched the series too, and I really was giving credit to their coach over the young Mitch Johnson. Apologies, Mitch Johnson. I wasn't familiar with your Game 7 adjustments. I felt like Greg Popovich was in his ear, but whatever. Point being, they won. The better team won ultimately at the end. However, I want to talk about OKC before we move on to Wemby, um, because ESPN, my least favorite sports talk show, all of them except for Inside the NBA, which is really TNT, but whatever, was really focusing on how the Thunder finessed the league all season into the playoffs, all the way through Game 6 with what they call foul baiting. And then they had Jay Williams, who I respect most of the time. One or two takes I disagree with him throughout his career. He did a whole montage of like foul baiting by the entire squad, like everybody on that team, but obviously led by the two-time MVP Shea. So let's start with Mike this time. Mike, what were your thoughts when you heard when you were here? Because we were having this conversation. Like, is this a real thing or is this made up narrative by ESPN? But then Twitter and social media just took off with it to the point where I started like getting into it myself.
Yeah, so one, is it a real thing? Two, and is ESPN's narrative. One, is it a real thing? Yeah, it's a real thing. I mean, players in every sport, across all sports, from even the NFL now, trying to like get pass interference calls and holding calls and like going to the ground when you lose your leverage, to my sport, soccer, where people have literally been doing it over
Where it all
100
started.
years.
That's where it started.
Anywhere there's an incentive to garner an advantage by performing a certain action without a negative consequence, it's going to happen, right? So that's that, right? Like, if SGA can get those calls, he's not the first one to do it. Harden is the one that like really invented it,
Yes.
right? And even before them, there were others that were of that ilk. I will just say. So
Ginobili.
I'm not one to hate the player. I'm more
Ginobili.
one. That's always been me. You know that about me. So I'm not gonna go off brand here on that one, right? As far as ESPN, I just think it's funny that Jay Will of all people did a montage on flopping when this is a guy who lost his NBA career because he flopped off a motorcycle. That's pretty ironic. And then he works for a network where people make a living flip flopping on hot takes, cold takes, this take, that take. I
First take.
mean, guys, aside from the motorcycle damage, if that's the requirement for the job, I'm very available. You need me to flip flop on Diana Rossini, I can do that too. Just tell me where to flip flop, flop this, that, left, right, front, center. I'm ready to go. But yeah, like that's just ESPN. I don't put a lot of stock in that. I do think it would be wise for the NBA, all jokes aside, uh, for them to kind of at least give some guidance to the referees, like, guys, err on the side of caution. The coaches have now the ability to challenge. You don't think it's a foul? Think it's a flop? Let it ride. Make the coach challenge it. Right? I mean, that's what it's there for. And if you just kind of give them a little bit of guidance and, give Scott Foster his Adderall, everything's going to be okay.
The extender. That's crazy. Keith, you're laughing. What are your thoughts about this narrative? And I know it's not just ESPN, Mike. It's maybe ESPN was the first, but man, it's all over. The internets.
fans, I mean, on the fan threads that I'm a part of, it's always been spoken about. But Michael's right. It's a human thing. It's not the only sport. Like where you have the ability to take advantage of something without repercussion, you're going to take advantage of that thing for a competitive edge. It it's just once upon a time, cats didn't practice it. Like you know what I'm saying.
There
It's the
was a
same
whole
reason why
team.
some boxing enthusiasts don't really like Mayweather. Like you know what I'm saying. Like oh yeah, just because
Yeah,
of
the grappling
how
and
he
waving
takes
and all that.
advantage of the rules rules of boxing. That's just like, okay, you're winning on all of the margins. It's it's cool, it's whatever, but you ain't really fighting. Like, you're not really fighting. So I think it's a little bit of that. Like, and I think the opinion a year ago, people love Shea. People love he was beloved across the league by fans near and what lovable cat from Canada. Now people like, oh, Shea is the Drake of the NBA,
That's unfair,
but it's
but I've heard that.
unfair. But it is what it is. Like, but it's behind his own approach to the game. Like, yeah, 30 points per game. Kobe would be 30 points per game, but I would never expect it to be on the back of flopping. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, it's hard for me to call you a great.
Or
Like,
living at the free throw line. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you score, you come out of a game scoring 30 points and you only hit 6 shots. Are you kidding me? Are you
Can you
kidding
just
me?
give us foul line blame instead of hotline
Yo,
blame? Foul line
I
blame.
blame.
foul line, foul line.
But hold on. I think we're moving away from the point. We're saying
Little
But
foul
Shea,
line
yeah,
blame.
and I want to give Brooks time on this too. We're saying Shea, the dominant, but it was the entire team. There were players who never played like that before. They're on the Thunder. All of a
I
sudden,
mean,
they're learning how to flop too.
that's obviously so. Obviously, what's going on is an environment where it's encouraged to do so. They're probably practicing that in practice. The coach is seeing that as nobody stopped Harden. You know what I'm saying? Like, so. Oh, imagine Harden team wide. That first, that second game, whichever game was the first in that series that they won. These cats,
Second game.
they called 70 fouls. 70, 7-0 fouls. Get the out of here, yo. Are you kidding me? Go on.
Let's give Brooks here
But
some time here
but
to
go
also.
ahead,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Go ahead. My
Yeah,
fault.
No, I mean, didn't LeBron famously say flopping is a strategy,
he did.
He would.
right?
He
He did.
would.
I know.
But he wasn't as
I
bad as
mean,
Harden. Oh my God.
no, no. I think, I mean, we talk about this all the time offline. Like, it's just a part of the NBA getting a little soft, right? Everyone's kind of flopping, like, everyone's getting a little soft. I mean, I don't want to say that because I have never played elite level sports, so I understand that there's a lot to it, right? But it just feels like when you compare it to the 90s, like the NBA of today is a little bit soft. So I just think like that's just sort of on par with how the NBA is right now, to be honest. And if you want to talk about ESPN, I mean, I really can't because I am contractually obligated to not talk about ESPN IP. However, um, I
Don't
will
get
say.
fired.
Don't get
I know, right?
fired.
I will. Don't get
Not in
fired.
this
I mean,
economy.
I will just say a lot of what they say is what they want to happen or what they want. Like, I just feel like they
Interesting.
dictate sports more than sports dictates what they say a lot of times. And that just really bothers me about ESPN, about my coworker, Stephen A. Like, I don't even want to get started on him. Yeah, so I mean that's a whole other
I want
thing.
to
But
show
yeah,
that
I
for a
mean I
future
just
podcast off season. But continue. I just
yes.
put that
I just think
right
it's like I
there.
said. I just think it's like sort of how the league is right now, right? It's like everyone's flopping, everyone's kind of soft, like whatever the thing is, right? I mean, also like don't call the flops then.
Adam
You know
Silver.
what I mean? Like, right? Adam Silver, don't call the
He needs
flops.
to sit down with the rest. I mean, everybody's been talking about every sport has issues with refs, but this is the first year I've heard NBA refs has really been like. I think it's probably worse than NFL refs at this moment, um, which is weird.
Yeah,
I
But
even
I
hate
agree.
when
it's
Brunson
not.
does it. I don't like that. Like, I just it's not ethical
Yeah,
basketball to me.
I think what
It's
makes
not. I
the
agree.
and I don't want to belabor this anymore because we still got to talk about Wemby is when the teams adjust to It's different when you're a superstar or you got a player in your team that, whatever, onesie, twosies. But when your entire team is known for this, it just puts a black eye on
Yeah,
the sport. But
yeah.
enough about black eyes. Let's talk about some good stuff here and the rise of Wemby, the Frenchman. Um, I want to start with Brooks this time, because you mentioned earlier how much you are a fan of his, but you hate the Spurs, and I've known that to be true of you for decades now. What are your thoughts here, seeing Wemby, who, by the way, this team was not supposed to be this far in the beginning. It wasn't projected to be this far. They were going to be a contender for sure, but it was going to be Houston and OKC. Those were the top two. Denver, maybe number three. Timberwolves, number four. Or Timberwolves in at San Antonio, number four. Clearly, they've exceeded all expectations with Wemby, who was voted number three. I think he got the third most MVP votes
Yeah.
behind Jokic and SGA. What are your thoughts on the rise of Wemby throughout this series in particular?
I mean, when he came in, I just thought, I don't know, I kind of wrote him, like in general, when he came into the NBA, I kind of wrote him off, to be honest, which, like, I feel really stupid looking back. Now, I won't say wrote him off. I just thought, like, he's tall, but he doesn't have a lot of skills, right? He didn't appear to have, like, a lot of fundamentals down, to be honest. But I take all of that back. Like, he is excelling at a rate like that is unbelievable. I think like the how like his fundamentals have developed, which makes sense because he plays for the Spurs, right? And he plays like, I mean, Pop isn't the coach, but Pop is there. Pop has influence, and like, everybody knows that Pop and fundamentals go hand in hand, right? So like, it actually is great that he's playing for that team because that's, to me, what he needed to learn. And I think he's getting there. And then also the other thing I see a lot of is like basketball smarts coming, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm big and lanky and I can like block. It's like I just see like his passing ability, which I didn't think was great in the beginning, has like vastly
He's no Manute
improved. Like,
Bol. No offense.
no, but I mean, he's 22 years old. Also, like he if he continues like improving at the rate that he's improving, he will be an unbelievable player. He will be hands down the best player ever in the NBA if he continues to excel. I mean, to me, right?
Yeah.
And I watched in the '90s. I think Jordan is the best player ever. I don't even want to like. It's not LeBron.
But he has
Anyways, I
that
don't want to get into that
potential.
argument.
He
But
does.
he really has that potential, and it's like
The ceiling is
crazy to watch.
crazy.
And just watching him this series was like the things that he can do. I mean, yes, it's because he's tall, but like he just the things he can do is like amazing to watch. And he's also, I think it's like the right time for him in the NBA as well because. Like there's been a lot of like people like the NBA soft, this and that, whatever. And I think like, and there's no face of the NBA, right? It's still like LeBron
And Curry, yeah.
even, yeah, and Steph Curry, right? And like, Ant could have taken it and didn't want it. Like so many players could have taken it and just like didn't really want it. Like,
John
Joker
Morant.
could have taken it. He definitely didn't want
Joker
it.
does not
John
want the NBA. It's work for him. It's
No,
like coming to work.
right. He only plays in the
Great.
NBA.
I'm the
So he
employee of the
could
month
like
one more time. Great. Yeah.
so he could like go like support his horse habit, right? Like that's the only reason he plays in the
This
NBA.
horse habit.
But
Because horses are expensive. Yeah, that's the only
right,
reason.
horses are expensive. I mean, I was a John Morant fan. I thought he was like it. I thought he was like the next superstar, and then he just whatever, all his personal issues. But I
Um,
really think like Wemby is it. I think he's like the face of the league, and he's poised to take it. And if he continues, like, give it to him because he's exciting to watch.
Mike, you were sitting there deadpan
mm,
while I'm going over it. Let us know your thoughts on this topic, the rise of Wemby.
Yeah, I was partially paralyzed about the whole greatest of all time talk about a 22-year-old. It might be because I'm old enough and damaged enough to remember Harold Miner.
Oh my God,
Uh,
Jordan Stopper.
not to make the young people feel too young, but all that aside, Brooks isn't too far off. Just talking about the Western Conference Finals as a whole and what's happening in the Western Conference right now. The West was won with wealth and health. Both of these teams in the Western Conference Finals had a wealth of talent. Okay, The team that won ended up being healthy. I think with a healthy Jay Will and a fully healthy AJ Mitchell, that OKC team is probably the team that comes out on top in this Western Conference Finals. Now, what's interesting about this matchup is we're probably going to see it again next year,
Yeah,
maybe the year after, because while the health is day to day and series to series, the wealth is here from years to come. OKC has two number ones in 26, two number ones in 27, a number one in 28, and the
God
Spurs
damn,
have their
forgot
number
about that.
one for all three of the next years with a variety of swaps, right? And to Brooks's point, Wemby, Harper, Castle, 20, 21, and 22, 21, 22, and 22, excuse me, 21, 20, 22, I believe, respectively. Vassell's 25. De'Aaron Fox is likely the piece that gets moved. These two teams are not only wealthy in terms of talent, they're wealthy in terms of assets. As far as I saw this series, the only difference between them was the Spurs ended up being healthier over the course of a 7 game series. And it's long forgotten now, but game one was the whole series. It was the only really close
Yeah,
competitive game that was cutthroat, the double overtime game in game one.
gotcha.
The team that won that game, the Spurs, won the series. Now, that said, something that has intrigued me and is interesting, this series, the games the Spurs won, it was all about their defense. They held in the wins the Thunder to 103 points, 91 points, 82
Oof,
points,
that one.
and then 115. And the 115 was in double
Overtime.
overtime.
Yeah.
They needed double overtime to get to 115. So I don't want to rob this later part of the podcast where we talk about the finals, but that's one of the things that sticks out to me about this series because even early in the series, when everybody was healthy, the games the Spurs were winning, the defense was showing up.
By the way, phenomenal homework by you, Mike. You came prepared, except for you forgot that Fox was also hurt in that game one that the Spurs did win. But
He was hurt all
but
series.
you're 100% right with the health versus and health and wealth. Um, but Free Keith, I know you probably didn't do any homework. What are your thoughts on the rise of Wemby during this series?
Um, I think I think Wemby's passion was on display, and to me more than anything else, that is something I think like I would hope to see duplicated. Like that is what we need more of in the league. Like
Mm,
I'm, you know what I'm saying? Eh, like people making it impossible a week to actually show that you give a damn. Like, and that's yeah. I'm glad that Wemby had so much emotion. I'm glad like because sports is supposed to be emotional. It's you're competing at the highest level. Like, show me you give a damn. Like that's he looked to me that's the stuff, and it has nothing to do with, I'm not going to say, oh, he's going to be Jordan level or Kobe level or whatever, but I tell you, it starts with identifying that mindset that they all have, and he got that. He's got that in in buckets, and it's authentic. It's not put on. Like
the last
he
part,
wants to
authentic.
be, he wants to be great. Like he needs to be great. He needs to win. You could tell that
Yeah, he's feeling. Yeah.
that's that's a person who makes you get behind. Him. That's a different kind of leadership. So like yeah, I think what I witnessed from Wemby because like Brooks when he first came in, not that I just because I already knew his work, but like I've been deceived by Frenchmen before who were supposed to be super phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
I
the
was like,
Knicks had
okay,
one.
we had a couple. We stayed with one. The one we got now is working though. The Diawara, young Diawara, he gonna be all right. Um, but like as soon as soon as I started watching him play basketball, Like, dude, you could tell that he was definitely like about more than just a paycheck, and that's I don't even know how you can put a fan value on that, but that's the kind of thing that needs to come back for the NBA that I love to be able to come back. I need I don't need every
Amen.
player like that, but I need 90% of the people we call stars to be like that.
Stars and the superstars
That's it.
and potential face of the league. I
And I
wholeheartedly
think
agree.
inherently, I think that is my irritation with LeBron. Like I think now that we're even talking about it, like that's the thing that scratches me the wrong way because like you
I'm
begging
gonna
for it,
save that for our off season. What is LeBron gonna
but
do? Conversation. But yes.
like
Keith, I love that you're like, that's your problem with LeBron. You have so many problems with LeBron. Like, I
no no
couldn't
no no
even
no no. No. I
pinpoint
think I just boiled it down to
your
that. It's
top
like
five.
you don't have to me like if he was more all about basketball and all about killing and winning, then I could actually take arguments seriously about like that greatness and this that. But dog, I really feel he just doesn't have greatness mindset.
Hmm.
He
I
has a
want to wrap
profit
this up
mindset.
before
He
we
has a
get to the
profit
final.
mindset. How much I could get for me, but I don't know if he got greatness mindset.
I just can't imagine having as much money as LeBron and still drinking Cabernet Sauvignons from California. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Because
Like,
some people just don't evolve beyond. Yes, that's a conversation. That's again off
get some
season
Granola, bro.
convo.
That's for
Hilarious.
the off season. That's for the off
Off
season.
season.
Listen, that's like yesterday. I was listening to someone talk about Prosecco is champagne. I'm like,
Van Lathan,
what is, no, it's not. And it made me so angry.
who by
I
himself,
get
he's
it.
also very
Yeah.
exposed, doing quite well for himself at the rigor, and it is what it is. The one thing I
It's
will
like saying
say,
I'm in. No, it's not the
I'm sorry,
same.
Brooks,
It's not the same.
you're
It's not the
saying
same, guys.
it's not the same. Brooks, go ahead.
It's not the same.
No,
That was
that's all I wanted to say.
the
It's
one last
just
thing
that.
before we get to the final NBA topic, which is the meat and potatoes of this. I think one thing that I did notice that is part of Wemby's weakness in his package that the Thunder exposed quite a bit of was his ball handling skills once he's in the paint.
Yeah.
That's something for sure he's gonna have to work with someone. I don't know who. It's not Olajuwon. It's not a big, but he's gonna have against the Knicks, which we're about to get into. He's gonna have to work on that, or it's gonna be a lot of turnovers for him.
I agree.
Because Chet
He needs to
and
work with Steph Curry's
Hartenstein
phone.
did
That's
pretty
who he
well,
needs
and
to work
Caruso did
with.
pretty well, but Chet was a non-factor trying to strip him of the ball in the
Oh,
paint.
he hates Chet.
Um,
He hates Chet.
yeah, he
I
hates
don't even
Chet,
think that
but
Chet hates him back. Like that's the funny thing about it. Like he hates Chet. I don't even think Chet hates him back the same way.
he's like,
But
I don't even know who you are.
Keith, analytically, they're best friends.
Oh, analytically,
Analytically.
yeah.
Analytically, they're best friends.
Yo, when he said
Analytically.
that, I knew I was like, "Oh, you're getting fired."
But he did get
Hey,
fired.
but he didn't get fired.
Yeah.
They deserve what they
Sorry,
get.
Cleveland fans. Sorry, Cleveland fans. Straight shot there. But let's go to the last NBA topic here is the prediction of, and I'm gonna stay neutral. Out of respect for my lifelong friend here, I'm not gonna opine
And your life in general.
in my life in general. I'm not gonna opine. I just caught that. I'm not gonna opine on this matchup, but I'm dying to hear what all three of you have to say. We're gonna start with the queen of the pod first. What are your thoughts on this NBA Finals 2026?
I'm sorry, Keith. I am going to go with the Spurs. I think they're going to
I wouldn't.
beat them
I wouldn't
again.
expect anything. I wouldn't expect. I wouldn't
How many
expect
games?
anything different.
How many games?
How many games?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think it goes seven. I think it could go seven.
Ooh,
Mm,
I actually
okay.
do.
So a
interesting.
Yeah.
Spurs
But I
win
think
in
the Spurs
seven.
will come out on top. Yes.
Hey, I hear
I'm
it.
writing this down. I'm writing this
Yeah,
down.
write that down.
Writing
Yep.
it down. This
I
is on.
also just want,
This is gonna be on the internet.
I might even watch
summarizing.
this podcast with his I did not say that out loud. Mike, edit that part out. Speaking of Mike, our Mike on the podcast. What are your thoughts on this series?
Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts on the series. First and foremost, shout out to the Emirates, Taco Bell, KFC, Mazda NBA Cup for predicting the NBA Finals. Like we got the best two teams. No, for real, the NBA
How
Cup
did Taco Bell get in that?
predicted the NBA Finals.
True.
Like that's not nothing. I don't know
True.
what it is. I am a math guy. I should do some math, but it means something. It's not nothing. So uh, that I just wanted to call that out. That was just funny. I found that amusing.
Hmm.
Shout out to Taco Bell.
This
Interesting.
this Spurs team is ahead of where it's supposed to be. And we saw a lot of the reasons why in this series against OKC. They should have taken care of business a lot earlier
Mm.
against this OKC team, given that Jay Will was not healthy and that after AJ Mitchell went down, they were just outright the better, more talented team. They didn't know how to take advantage of the situation. Okay? When I look at the nucleus of this team, I mentioned it about 20 minutes earlier 20, 22, 21 years old, 25 years old. De'Aaron Fox is the vet at 28. I look at this Knicks team and I see 27, 28, 29, 30-year-old men. OG Anunoby, who actually has a ring. Others who have been in the arena and have tasted their own blood before.
You made me
I
bleed my own blood.
look at this Knicks team and I think they have a really, really good chance to win the finals. My only hesitation is I thought the East was kind of weak. I'm hoping that I'm not betting on some frauds that beat a bunch of 2-year-old Phillies and now they're going to run up into a Wemby buzzsaw. But I gotta say, this Knicks team does, to Keith's earlier point, they match up pretty well against the Knicks. That's why they won the NBA Cup Finals and all the Taco Bell. They've got the size. They've got an invigorated Cat, which I give a lot of credit to Brunson and his leadership for giving them. So, with all of that said, I just don't think the Spurs are ready. And I don't know if you can see this logo here. I'm going to flex a little stuff here. Do you recognize that logo from 1992?
I do. Dream Team.
Do you recognize that signature? Can you see that? If you can't recognize the signature, you can certainly recognize what's on the back of this hat right here, if I can get it in focus.
So Knicks.
I'm taking the Knicks in 6.
Knicks and six.
Knicks in 6
Spicy.
with the 6. The Ewing 6.
Spicy.
The
Interesting.
Dream Team 1992 Ewing 6.
Okay. And of course, the main event, man. Keith, what are your
I
thoughts? Your
I
heart, your
agree
mind,
with
whatever.
I agree with Mike. I think ultimately the Spurs youth may be what betrays them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It, I think that they could win. Honestly, they could win. They have the talent. They have the talent that it's a possibility that they could win. But I don't think that this is their moment per se. I don't think that this is their moment, and I think that I think that their youth will be on display, especially towards the later end of this run.
Hmm. So later in this run, are you agreeing with Mike on 6 games?
6 games, yes. Knicks in six.
Knicks and six.
And Josh Hart has to keep hitting threes. Has to.
Mm-mm, mm. But not. But honestly, even if he doesn't, because like I'm not the person who depends on offense as given in the last game, because your shot could be off. Like
But
all
Keith, we just went over this, right? Like
what
the
what
Spurs won on defense. The guy they're going to leave open is Josh Hart. If Josh
true
Hart's not
story.
hitting threes, these guys are in trouble right now.
He'll make it easier
That's
for
true.
us, definitely. He'll make it easier for us, definitely. But my thing is greater. Like if I need our defense to keep up, you good offense, bad offense, just make sure the defense is always good defense. That's what I want. That's what I'm hoping. Because in the dips and because in the peaks and the valleys, that's what's going to save us.
Keith, can I ask you a question? Do you agree that whether the Knicks win or lose this series depends on the toughness and ability for Karl Anthony Towns to perform?
Yes, 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 yes. Because like if their team was built around the dominant wings or guards,
That's
I
not this.
it would be less so. Their engine, their power comes from their bigs. If our bigs can't meet the moment, if our star big can't meet the moment, yeah, nah, this is your game, big fella.
You don't want Chet
This
Holmgren
is
part
your
two.
series. This is your and
Actually, you
you
don't even want
see
a Hartenstein either.
you don't want you see how what he did to Chet. You better not give it up like Chet. Score 4 points in a closeout game. Shame to
Can't
yourself.
do
Um,
that.
Final
Should be
question to you,
ashamed.
and only you, Nick. I mean,
Go
Keith.
home, Go
Final
home.
question to you, an
Go.
NBA, and only you, Keith. Assuming that the Knicks do win in Game Six, will you be at MSG, the Garden, or that whole plaza
Hmm.
area, 37th and 7th? Will you yourself be there with the
In this
Knicks
day and
crowd?
age, I'm gonna have to stick. I'm gonna have to skip it. I'm gonna have to skip it.
Smart.
This day
Yeah,
and
we need
age,
you. We
but
need you alive for the 50th birthday Croatia trip. So yeah, don't go out there if they
but
win.
yeah, yeah, nah. I hope that there's plans and preparations and stuff by the city works and departments of whatever. I hope
The apartments
because
of whatever.
because
Public and Waterworks Commission.
it's gonna be a problem. Win or lose, it's gonna be a problem. But
Yeah,
but
that is
win,
true. Win or lose,
but honestly, win, I think it'll be more of a problem.
bigger problem. Bigger problem.
That's a
All
funny
right,
thing.
let's end this podcast on a moose boosh topic.
A
That
moose
Queen of
boost.
the Pod wanted us to bring is the other professional American basketball league that's happening right now, full swing,
Hmm.
which is the WNBA. The WNBA, my team, New York Liberty, right now is at eighth place in the league. Um,
Hmm.
you know, we just started. We got 8 9 games in. The
We're all right.
Mariners are
It's early.
terrible. Clark, all of the usual stories are out there. Becky Hammond's coaching, AJ Wilson, the establishment, not establishment, the new franchise Valkyries are operating on some pretty good cylinders. So, Brooks, I'll let you start this topic. What are your thoughts right now on the opening, not even first, third, the first couple games here of the WNBA, which will eventually satisfy our basketball desires after the NBA Finals is over? What are your thoughts so far?
Well, I obviously wish my Sparks were doing a little bit better, but Kelsey Plum has been injured off and on. So, but yeah, I mean, she needs to like get healthy and really take the Sparks um, beyond what are we 10 right now?
Yeah,
So not great, 10 in the West.
you're tied with the
Yeah,
fever.
yeah, not great. Here's what I think about the W in general. I just think that they play with so much heart, and they play so tough. Like, I'm watching a game the other day, the Sparks game the other day, right? Cam Brink gets elbowed in the face. Her nose is gushing blood. They don't even call a foul on the play. Like, she clearly was fouled, right? They don't even call a foul on the play. She goes out, she's like, "Stop my bleeding," and then comes back in. Like, any guy, any NBA player would have flopped to the ground and like been like out for the rest of the game. Like, she comes back, her nose is broken, and she's like, "I'm gonna keep playing. I don't even want a shield. Like, I just want to
This
play."
is what happens
Like,
when you don't have Tony Brothers, Scott Foster, and those guys refereeing the WNBA games.
To be
clearly,
fair
I
though,
mean,
when Harden leaves the game early, he's getting to the club early, right? It's
right.
like,
I
he's got
mean,
different motivations.
Harden's an idiot. Anyways, I shouldn't say that. He's not. I just hate watching him play. That's the thing that I love about the W. I love their heart. I love watching them play. Like, I just, it's the way they play is the way I wish the NBA played. But,
Facts.
you know, yeah, the NBA just a little soft right now. So that's why I love watching the W. The other thing that I wanted to quickly hit on, which was I think very important, is their collective bargaining agreement,
Ooh.
right? Like, so last year they're getting played like shit. They're getting paid like shit. Paige Beckers was the number one draft pick, and she's making like 70,000 per year, right? The year before that, it was Caitlin Clark. She's making like 70,000 per year. I mean, it is insane that they're making those kind of salaries, and that's like that was on the high side.
Yeah.
This year, right? Great collective bargaining agreement. Now the league averages $600,000, which is obviously not even close to on par with the NBA, but makes sense for at least where they're at. I think, it's historic. I think like the W is really on a rise. Although I don't even want to talk about how difficult it can be to watch the game sometimes because that's ridiculous. Um,
Oh yeah.
but
Same
What
thing with the
was
yeah,
it
we had
on?
NBA.
to.
That, yo, selling
Sky. I'm
those
like, what
rights,
channel is
man.
this?
Good lord, man. There was no
Yeah,
I'm
rhyme or
like, what
reason.
channel
Like
is this? I'm on channels I
you,
never knew I had on Verizon to watch.
you
yeah.
get a game.
It's like
You get a
Ion or
game.
something. Yeah, yeah. It's it's I hate all of I probably not a
I
subject
mean, I'm
again I
sure they
should
had a
really be
game on
talking about,
Tubi.
but
In fact, I think they had a game on Tubi.
yes, yes, they did have a game on Tubi. It's ridiculous. But I guess my point is just like I just love where the W's at right now, right? Like AJ Wilson Supermax, like Asia
Best player
Asia
in the
Wilson
league.
Supermax, like that's exactly how she should be. I mean, if you watch her play, like she is unstoppable. Like I can't even think of a better player right now, and she's won the MVP like 4 years. Yeah,
I'm gonna
I mean
say
that's
she's
why I
a
just want
better
to touch
player
on
in
it.
her
Like
household. I said it. Hot take.
I think her household would agree with you as well, minus that game where
Minus the
he
game, he
got
got
what was
80
it 80,
points or whatever it was.
83
83.
points. Yeah,
Manufactured 83 points.
yeah,
Whatever. Um,
yeah.
anything else, Brooks? Before we go to Keith, ask.
I mean, if you're not watching the W, you're missing out. Go watch the W. It's truly the league to watch at this point.
I'm gonna save Mike for last on that one. Keith, what are your thoughts right now on this in the current state of the W? The W.
No, I think that they're the best investment in sports right now. I've said it offline. You guys, and honestly, that every year that investment gets worse is what I'm not worse as in like bad investment, but like you would make less and less on your money because it's expanding. It's actually gaining value so fast.
Yeah, like
I
Palantir
would
stocks.
love
Yeah,
I would love to have had to
like
have an
Nvidia.
NBA, a WNBA team like that right now. I feel like the way they play, the energy with which they bring to the game, they're pulling more fans in. You know, and really that's the driver to this whole thing is because the more people that will watch you play is the more money that'll come to the pot from the advertisers. So like they're pulling that in. That these things are going on, and it's on the back of them really becoming a better like competition league. It's great to see. And it's like it's almost like certain leagues or the leagues in general, once money gets to a certain point, you have to start doing things to manage competition. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to get a guy who's making $56 million a year like up for game 62 of the you know what I'm saying? Like you really gotta have greatness in your mind. You really have to be something different. And I think that's where a lot of the softening has come from. It's like yeah, I got talent. Yeah, I don't have to really I, I've got a $300 million contract for the next 4 years. Like I'm good.
I'm good.
So so
Laissez
like
faire. As people say.
if you want Jordan out of me, like I really have to have a whole different mindset, and that's now become rare
Paige
because you don't
Beckers,
really
man. She's
need
my
it.
favorite. I mean, other than AJ, Paige has become my favorite player to watch.
That's
Year
Yeah,
sport.
in and out.
That's what people look for. That's
it
sport. That is sport. And so
And
yeah,
even
the
Paige Beckers really
WNBA
lived
I
up that
think
hype
is
as well.
WNBA. They're really and even their like their villains, their hero, their beefs. I love it, all of it. I love all of it. The drama, like the Caitlyn and what's her name don't like each other. Like
Injuries,
Angel Reese.
injuries.
once upon a time, the NBA used to be like that. Like yeah, I don't like this. Best friends, banana boat. Like yeah, no, no,
LeBron,
y'all are
like
warriors. Y'all are
LeBron,
warriors. Y'all supposed to hate each other.
Draymond, LeBron.
And that was
Mike,
my
you get the
problem with
last.
the
I'm sorry.
earlier
Oh, hold
version
on.
of the WNBA because the earlier
Yeah,
version of the NBA I think was too friendly, and
it's
that
too
turned
friendly.
people off. I think from the
Well, they
beginning
had
because
there's
this is
something
not
Well,
called
it's
how.
not friendly
cocaine.
now.
No,
Yeah,
no,
they had
no. This is
cocaine in
not
the
how it
70s.
was. The
Yeah.
WNBA
Brooke,
is what I was saying.
you were saying something while Keith was talking. I just want to make sure you get your point across.
Me? No, I just said it's not. Like he said it was friendly, and I said it's not
Oh,
now.
okay.
No,
Mike, you
That's
get the last word then on the state of the W and your
Yeah.
involvement in the game.
So I'm glad I get the last word. I love that, by the way. So I candidly haven't been watching a lot of the WNBA season after what I saw in the NBA this year. Now that I know that the NBA Cup final predicts the NBA finals, I'm not getting into the WNBA Commissioner's Cup gets going. Like once those games get into it, I go, all right, well this is the real predictor of what's going down in this league, right? Um, but look, at a higher level, the WNBA is a fantastic product that's completely underutilized, undermarketed, and undermonetized. There are a lot of WNBA players that go overseas in the offseason to get bigger paychecks than they get when they play here. Honestly, for a lot of WNBA players, at least the stars, I believe their WNBA paycheck is their third biggest paycheck. Number one is their EuroLeague, wherever the hell they play. Number two is their shoe or Nike or apparel endorsement. And then number three is the WNBA paycheck. So you have a situation where the players financially are beholden to two other entities before they're beholden to their WNBA club. Major problem from a motivation standpoint, major problem from a management standpoint, major problem from a brand expansion and brand awareness standpoint. Two, how are the owners letting this happen, right? Like, there is no reason why WNBA ownership cannot find a way to compete with the salaries that these women can make overseas. Doesn't make any sense, right? Because, to Keith's point, it's a fantastic investment. Women's sports globally is higher grossing in terms of ad revenue and everything than men's sports is globally across all sports, right? So for all these smart people with all this money to not see that the investment can be made and to take what's already working in Europe and in other parts of the world and just own it and grow it, I at first didn't see it, but now I'm starting to realize the WNBA needs to become its own thing. Its association with the NBA is the problem.
Bingo.
As
I
long
did
as it's
not think you were going to
associated
say
with the
that.
NBA
Yeah.
and it's not its own thing, this is going to kind of continue to happen. As far as I can tell, that's the only difference between the European leagues and the league that we have here. Is they're not associated with the NBA and they don't got to kowtow and they don't got to dance on eggshells when it comes to media deals and all this other stuff and promotions. They get to do their own thing. It's time for these owners to step up and do their own thing.
One last thing, and just you had the last word, but I want to butt dress this because I learned not too long ago that the NBA, the commissioner, still has a percentage board of governors with the WNBA. So I think Brooks might have mentioned this, or maybe Keith earlier, that all those different ways of watching the games is terrible. I mean, the NBA just locked all types of major distribution deals and TV rights deals, but they couldn't do the same for the WNBA. Means they just don't care about the WNBA. I think David Stern, who helped birth the WNBA back in 1996, had the right idea and concept, but I don't think Adam Silver has the same desire that David Stern did with the WNBA, and I think it's clear. Like he's focused 100% on the NBA.
I got to jump in here.
Yep.
I'll defend Adam Silver. If I was him, I wouldn't give a shit either. NBA, 14.3 billion in revenue. WNBA, 300 million in revenue. I work for the owners. What am I going to focus on? Like from a simple job preservation
Yeah, but
standpoint.
that's a stark difference between
Who
David
do I work
Stern.
for? What am I going to
By
focus
the
on?
way,
Like,
David Stern was
again,
all
it gets back to the
capitalism too.
owners. I do not blame the commissioner. Do not blame the
No.
commissioner
David
on this.
Stern was 100% about capitalism too. Like he wanted to protect the product of the NBA more than Adam Silver, but he was able to figure out a way to bring this fledgling league up to at least
That
the American public eye, whereas Adam Silver just doesn't give a damn. You know.
Adam
But
Silver
anyway,
is trying to
that
turn us into FIFA. He's battling FIFA. Like he's trying to
yes,
make the
he's got a
NBA into a
whole
global
like
brand.
Euro
He's on a whole
Africa
different
NBA, Euro
that
NBA.
that's why the WNBA isn't his focus and isn't like he isn't putting the same kind of energy into it. Like he is focused on he's not even competing against the NFL. He is competing against FIFA. He's competing he wants to make NBA a global brand.
He wants to dissolve FIFA basketball. He does. And I did not think this
Listen,
topic was going to be part of the W.
I think the commissioner that we need to blame is Kathy Engelbert in this situation. I think she
No,
does not ride for her league,
not
and I
bad.
think that's the problem.
You're
She may
right.
Personally,
not,
I mean,
but
the
she
whole beef
also may
between
not
her
have the power to
and
do so as well.
Yeah, she has
yeah,
41%.
but listen, but she also like Nafisa Collier was like, listen, I know how the like running a league works, right? Because she has the I can't think about it.
The 3-on-3 league, what's it called?
Yeah,
I forgot the name of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So she was saying, I know like what we could do. And she, Kathy Engelbert like shut her down and was like, you don't know what you're talking about. That beef that they
Yeah,
had
that
last year.
leak
And it was
came
like,
out. Yeah,
you're
I
not
can't
even
blame
listening
Adam
to your
Silver on that one. Yeah,
players. Yeah, that's not Adam Silver. That's Kathy.
that's
Like
her.
you're not listening to your players. And I think like she just is not representing the league very well, personally. I'm surprised that she's still the commissioner, to be honest.
Interesting way to end things off. Last words, anybody? Round table. Let's start with the queen of the pod, Brooks.
Oh my gosh. Last words. I don't know. My only last words are watch the W and go Sparks.
Keith.
Let's go Knicks. Knicks and six.
And our 30-day contract, Mike.
Knicks and six. Spain playing the World Cup. Write it down and marker. España, viva España. Lead
Haiti,
ball.
Viva Haiti,
Vamos.
Haiti. Let's go. Anale. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming to one of our. Actually, this is probably my favorite NBA podcast so far. Please leave a comment below. Tell us whether you agree on any of our hot takes, especially the Jay Williams flopping off his motorcycle. Um, and let us know what you think about your finals predictions, Knicks or the Spurs. What games? Leave a comment. Follow us on all the social internets. Blue Sky, not True Social. Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Am I missing anything? Probably not. Spotify,
Threads?
YouTube,
Not,
of
not
course,
on Threads?
YouTube. What was that last one?
We're not on Threads?
Not yet, but we will be. We'll be.
James, you think want to get any road rash on mine for that joke?
No. Threads. Not on Pornhub either. Thank you for following us. Continue to leave comments and share with your friends. We'll see you later. Have a good night.
Hey, Indigo made the beat.